What's up, Tim Sykes here in Boston, meeting up with Jack and JCP and Strati, three amazing traders. I was gonna say all millionaires, but Strati's not yet a millionaire, but he's on his way, having six-figure months. Even while I'm here, I'm still trading. We're filming, we're doing a challenge webinar, very excited for that. If you actually click the link below, we'll put the challenge webinar on YouTube. So by the time you see this, I don't know, just get in the challenge and watch it. But in this video, okay, I'm gonna be talking about stocks that are spiking, NITO, TGL, KITT, CRNC. Even while I'm here, these plays are doubling and tripling in a few hours. Like, it's insane right now. So watch this video, take notes, and click the link below, get in the challenge, watch more. Just become successful. Stop being so unsuccessful. Go, study, study.
Good morning, Tim Sykes here, pre-market lesson. I'm feeling better. Thank you for all the well wishes, but got to focus on these plays. I'm filming this around 6 a.m. Eastern. I woke up early. I want to be ready for 7 a.m. That's when a lot of brokers open, and oftentimes there's good 7 a.m. spikes. Unfortunately, just given my travel schedule, I missed after hours yesterday. And I missed a really golden opportunity. I already texted Jack. I was like, Jack, tell me you nailed it. He said he did. So I'll find out the details. Later today, Jack Kellogg, myself, and JCP are giving a webinar. So if you're in the challenge, definitely tune into our webinar. It's going to be 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And I'll get Jack's take on NITO. But, you know, this is the beauty of having multiple traders alerting, multiple tools in your tool chest if you so choose. Let me just show you what Jack and JCP sent on NITO. Well, first of all, let me bring up, NITO. This is pre-market, right? So you might say, like, Tim, that nothing's happening, it's downtrending a little bit. Correct. It's not like there's always pre-market or after hours spikes, but this was yesterday. Before I get into yesterday afternoon, yesterday, giant spike, 25 cents all the way up to over $1. Nice news right here with the JV, with their project. Nice volume, massive volume, which is pretty amazing given that it's a small, what does this pop up? I don't even know what's going on here. Given that it's a small company, the volume already pre-market today is 6 million. I think yesterday was like, 7 or 800 million. And the float is 3.5 or 3.9 million. So massive volume, massive run up yesterday. I made like $500. In case you ever think that, like, I'm best case scenario, it's such a joke how much opportunity there is. Again, my traveling sometimes helps me because I have a problem over trading, but sometimes when there's an all-day runner like this, it just hurts me. I missed the initial run-up in here. Shout out to a bunch of students in challenge chat. Actually, let me just highlight you guys. I'm really pumped how many people are getting it. Oh, this was a random message from somebody, like, I don't want to mention publicly yet because they're getting their statements together, but they said, I'm a subscriber, not a challenge student, but wanted to give credit where it's due. After 4 years, I didn't even know, but I crossed $1 million after fees about a month ago. I'm not looking for recognition. I just want to thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Keep teaching. This is like a very unofficial, new millionaire student. Like, this student didn't even realize he was over $1 million. And, he's got to post like his statements and stuff like that. But, like, this is what's possible. This is awesome. I love getting messages like this. Some people are like, oh, I don't know if I should, message you. Like, I don't have all my statements in order. I get it. Like, if you're trading a lot, getting all your statements in order, it's a lot. But this is awesome. Whether you're at $1 million, whether you're at 800,000, it's all, seemingly impossible to the outside world. But this is what is possible if you're on the inside. Evan Shunk, best start to the year, made 46,000 yesterday realized, and then another got 45,000 unrealized. And I said, nice, but don't get cocky. Remember your pizza shop days. And he posted this little meme. He used to work in a pizza shop. Pretty cool that, it's like average people. Evan was in the pizza shop. His brother, Chris Shunk, who just posted, Evan posted like a $600,000 a year yesterday, which was awesome. 619,000. His brother made 1.3 million. Evan worked in a pizza shop. Chris was a music teacher. Okay? So just think about that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I gotta highlight more students. In case you wonder why I'm like so overwhelmed, where is I highlighted my students somewhere. This was Chris Shunk making 1.3 million. Pretty awesome. Not bad for a former music teacher. Please congratulate Evan and Chris. I'll do another video recap with them soon. Also, Eric, meeting up with him, he made 95,000 last month. And mind you, these are all like, everyone's all like, oh, how do I get the big money? It's trade after trade after trade. Small trades, some trades are better than others. Plays like NITO are great. But this is what I want to talk about. Like, Breathe the Alien, first trade of the year, NITO in at 48, out at 90 cents. Raj in at 57, out at 82. Terry F crossed the $10,000 milestone. Dustin Sadler made money on FFIE and PON, which were two spikers early yesterday. Lorena nailed AEI, CGBS. Nate Patterson, props to him, he nailed CGBS and also NITO. He started buying it at 40 cents, sold some at 65, and then he said he was selling like a block at a time, 1,000 at a time, I think like 90 cents or $1. But, you know, making a few $1,000s. Hollow was also a nice spiker for 500. Roger D made 45%. LAES was spiking again too. So it's trade after trade. So like, while you say, wow, Tim, you're a millionaire, who cares about $500? This was not a best case trade, okay? I missed the initial run up, but I saw the dip down here from $1.17. It actually got down to 71 cents. So I was a little off, and I said this in chat. I was a little too early on my dip buy at 89 cents. I thought that I could get back over $1. And then I added at 82. Coulda, woulda, shoulda added one more time. You know, when it, like right here, it was bouncing off the VWAP right in here at like 78, 79. You know, dip buys on plays that are up 300-400% on the day. Like it's tough to try to find the bottom, but it was, you know, fleshing out the bottom. And some people say, well, how do you know if it's ever going to come back or if it's going to fade? Again, this thing is trading hundreds of millions of shares. Even here when the volume is down, I mean, the float is only 3.9 million shares. It's trading its float like every 2 or 3 minutes. So there's just a lot of buying. Most likely it's going to come back. As it turned out, you know, the low here was 70 cents and it went up to 140. So double off the lows. I didn't anticipate that. I didn't get a great entry and I certainly didn't get a good exit. But like yesterday was just a crazy day for me. So again, I'm not going to trade it perfectly when I have a crazy day. But there's more than enough volatility. That's what I want you to understand. And then after hours, let me show you what Jack and JCP sent. In case you ever wonder, you're like, oh, Tim, I don't need like power signal indicator. I don't need XGPT. All of these tools are designed to help you find stocks that are spiking at different times. And in this market, you need every tool and you should consider all times. So this was Jack sending this out at 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay. And he said, NITO, big move, popping on the super power signal indicator, trading volume of almost 600 million shares, doing a good job holding most of his gains. Let's see how we close, and let's see if we get a strong base after hours for potential gap. Would need to be holding above the VWAP. So all after hours long, starting right here, you know, it closes at like $1.08. Doesn't look like it's going to necessarily hit the highs. Fading. Right here at 6:08 p.m. is when, you know, you get a little uptrend. You get a nice little bounce from 93 cents up to $1.20. But this is the time you got to focus on. If you've been watching my videos, you know it's all about, you know, breaking this kind of, you know, coil pattern where it's going sideways and then it really just, let me just show you. Let me zoom in. Each one of these represents 1 minute. But this is a nice little spike here in 1 minute from 96 cents up to $1.03. Then it holds its gains. But really, this is the minute you want to be focused on, okay? You know, this should put it on your radar. Again, if you're watching at 6 p.m., I know, trust me, I'm waking up at freaking 5:30 in the morning and I'm already late. I should have woken up at 4 a.m. this morning. But there's 4, 5, 6 a.m. spikers and 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. spikers too. So instead of just 9:30 to 4, 9:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Like we used to have a nice little 6.5 hour trading day. Now you have 4 hours, or actually 5.5 hours pre-market extra, and then another 4 hours after hours. So now 9.5 hours extra. So if you want, you can have a 15-hour trading day or a 16-hour trading day instead of a 6.5 hour trading day. There's not always plays, but sometimes there are. And again, this is why, I got this email. There was nothing I could do. I wasn't available at 6 p.m. I need sleep sometimes, and I'm trying to get sleep whenever I can, especially not feeling 100%. But Jack nailed it, saying, watch this, and I got to talk to him again. Tune into our webinar later today. What is it, 4 p.m. Eastern? So in 10 hours from now, we're going to be doing a webinar. But you got to try to be there from 6:09 p.m. to 6:21 p.m. This is 10 minutes, guys. Okay? This is 10 minutes, but this action sets up, and even if you're not necessarily there, right here, you get another from 7:09 to 7:16. This is 7 minutes at 7 p.m. and it goes from basically $1.24 to $1.60. Okay? Massive volume. I mean, even if you're not there at 6 p.m., like you could still see the volume candles here heating up. I'm guessing this is like Jack buying, 100, 200,000 shares and flipping it. We'll find out. Wait, did he upload his trades? Hold on. Jack posts all of his trades, but he didn't post his trades yet for January 2nd. This is still January 1st. He's slacking. He's a day behind. I'm kidding, Jack. But, this is what can happen. So pre-market and after hours, there are big spikes, and you want to try to be there for that, After this, from 7:06 p.m. until 7:16 p.m. So this is another 10-minute window. At around 6 p.m., there was a 10-minute window, and now 7 p.m., there's a 10-minute window. I'm also watching pre-market, big percent gainers, TGL. ONCO was a big percent spiker earlier. The quantum plays are spiking again. TGL is today's biggest pre-market runner. Wow, nice little run-up. So you see, look at this. This is me missing it, right? Like this is, in case you wonder, like why get up at 4 a.m. I mean, look at this. This is at 4 a.m. and it goes from, what did it start the day out? At like 32 cents up to 55 cents. Massive volume. It's trading 1 million shares a minute. And this is all in the first 20 minutes. So again, you want to try to be there for these runs. And this is happening 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m., 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. This was TGL. I'm sure Jack was up and he probably nailed that. But NITO, big spike right here. And that's it. Like you can't get obsessed with these things and hodl these things and be like, this is definitely going to 2. You take the 20, 30%. Like this is a market really made for singles. All these students, people are like, oh, you sold too soon. Who cares? Okay. You learn to lock in the profits along the way. Like literally look at my trade. I made basically $500. Okay. I sold way too soon. Really, I was off a little bit just because I had a crazy day. The one thing that I could have done better, like my sell isn't that bad given that I had a crazy schedule and I just wanted out. Coulda, woulda, shoulda added one more time at 80 cents. And I would have got my average down to like 83. And instead of 17,000 shares, I might have had 25,000 shares. Like if I had added another 8,000 or 9,000 shares, which, it's not much dollar-wise. And some people say, well, how do you know when to, you kind of just need to watch these things and you start to feel that like it's getting, there's buyers, every few cents. Obviously, I was off on NITO. Like it went all the way down to 70 cents, but it was, you could see here, there was a few little spikes and you could have sold into those spikes before the big spike. Or, you wait for a more definitive bottom. Like this is a nice little double bottom here. I wasn't watching at around noon. I actually took my eye off it. But just to show you the upside, like this is the crazy thing. This is intraday. So you have a nice pre-market spike. I saw a lot of students buy here on the news. Maybe they bought on this breakout right here near the open and rode the morning spike. So you had a morning spike, you had a midday dip buy, an afternoon bounce, an afternoon fade, and then an after hours spike. So like you can kind of like divide up the day into, different patterns. And you never know, right? Like, Jack sent this email saying he was watching it, but you never know if it's necessarily going to do a big spike, but you want to try to be there for it. And that's what, the best thing about power signal indicator, the best thing about XGPT, it puts these stocks on your watch list. Okay. And then, you got to watch. Like, this is why I am so exhausted and sick nearly every day. I'm trying to be there. Because for me, I know people say, like, Tim, like, take a day off, but like, I'm trying to really help you guys maximize this market. It's not about my own trading. My own trading is shit lately. Okay. Making $500 on this. I mean, this is terrible. Even if I had traded it better with my crazy schedule, maximum I'm making $1,500. So I'm limited by my own failings as a trader, my own schedule right now, my own health. But I'd like to try to be there for you guys to help you see it, right? Like whether I'm trading it, whether I'm commenting on it, I want you to try to focus on these plays because I don't know how long this hot market lasts, right? I mean, this was a 400% runner yesterday. NXU was like a 400 or 500% runner just a few days ago. Already TGL is up nearly 200%. Every time you have these plays, you should be focused on learning from them. Whether you nail it, whether, you're like many of my upcoming students, you sell too soon, use every play to, grow your education, to grow your knowledge account. So some people say like, come on, Tim, like you've been trading 25 years. You don't need to go this hard. I do. It's not about my own trading. I donate this, right? This isn't even, my money. I donate this to charity, but I need to show you when it's hot. And, this is a beautiful thing where I wasn't around after hours. I missed this, but Jack laid it out. Like if you're a power signal indicator user, you saw this or you should have seen this. Pay attention to what Jack says. Literally every email matters. Not that every play is going to be right. He's not going to be right 100% of the time, but you should try to focus on these plays because he's right more often than not. And, you can ask him questions. Again, we are 6:20 a.m. We're doing a 4 p.m. webinar, me, Jack, and JCP. And JCP had a $260,000 month, more than double his previous best month, which was his last month in November of 98,000. And he's a former security guard. And Jack, used to sell bamboo pillows. Like these aren't like rocket scientists, okay? You don't have to be the smartest person. That's the beautiful thing. You just have to be ready and you have to be open-minded. And ideally, you need to focus on the right plays. That's why we have these tools. I'll link Power Signal Indicator. Congrats to everybody who has it. Dead on alert. This was what? The big spikes were at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. So this was like 2.5 hours and 3.5 hours or 3 hours before the big spikes. But, this is what the power signal indicator is all about. Like Jack has this indicator where he follows it. And this is why, Jack goes to bed early at like 7, 8 p.m. And, he's capturing this. He texted me at like 8:15 p.m. So I think he was like passing out. But the market is open till 8 p.m. Eastern lately, these days, guys. So you choose your dedication level. You tell me, did you nail NITO on the initial news spike? Stocks to Trade breaking news alerted it. Did you get the morning spike? Did you get the midday dip? Did you get the afternoon bounce or the after hour spike? Or did you miss it? It's okay if you missed it, but at least, part of the reason why I make this video is just so you learn from it. It's never too late to learn. And there's already so many big plays pre-market. So let's get ready for another busy day. Congrats to all these students. Congrats to all Power Signal Indicator users. I'll post a link if you want to join that. And then also later today, challenge webinar. write down some good questions for me, Jack, and JCP. It's going to be a good one. Happy Friday, everybody. All right, just a little follow-up. Filming this, just afternoon, so it's like 6 hours after I filmed that last video. TGL, when I was filming it in the morning, it was around here, 45, 50, 52 cents a share. Actually went all the way up to 91 cents, and this was the 7 a.m. spike. So in case you're wondering what time to get up, obviously 4 a.m. is ideal, but that's just not feasible for most people. If you can be there for 7 a.m., look at this run up here on TGL. This is when many retail brokers open up. You can see it's right at 7 a.m. Nice breakout here, 58 cents up to 91 cents. This is in 5 minutes, okay? In case you wonder why, I'm losing my mind right now more than usual, you got to be there from 7 a.m. to 7:05 a.m. You make 50% in 5 minutes. And since then, it's been almost straight down. So again, you want to lock in those profits. This morning I was trading NITO, made another few hundred, sold it too early. It went all the way up to 350, okay? I was making that video lesson this morning when it was 120. It nearly tripled. Tripling would be to like 360. It went to 350, and now it's coming down a little bit. But just to show you how much these things are spiking, and I sold that one too soon. I also had CRNC in the 10s. They had news with NVIDIA. This is the latest play. You can see here the news came out, and I was buying it here in the 10s, and I was flipping it in the 10s. I made like 40 cents a share. I was like, oh, it doesn't really move. I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough patience. Went all the way to 20, okay? So just to update you in case you're keeping track, you want a scorecard. CRNC, I profited, but the thing doubled. TGL, I didn't even trade it, but the thing went up basically nearly a double from, when I was making the video at 52 cents to 92 cents. And then NITO tripled basically. So 2 doubles and a triple on 3 different plays. These are all the single biggest percent winners, by the way. In case you're wondering how I'm not cherry picking random stocks. These are the 3 stocks that I've been watching. I traded NITO and CRNC. I locked in a few $100s. I'm up like $2,000 now in 2 days. Nothing huge, but selling way too soon. And these are the 2 biggest. And then KITT also was the 3rd biggest percent gainer. I made a few hundred on that. Sold that one too early too. This is a robot play that's now spiking. So endless opportunity. Focus on big percent gainers. Use power signal indicator. Use, whatever you can. Literally whatever you can to just try to be there for these plays. I'm sitting here with JCP, 1CC, Pena!
Yo.
El Jefe. Juan C. Pena, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. A lot of stuff moving today.
Trying to keep up. We're trying to get our coffees. I don't know where our coffees are. No sé. ¿Dónde es la cappuccino? Ahora. Quiero coffee ahora. Juan is Mexican, so it inspires me to speak Spanish. Do you speak fluent Spanish?
See.
Oh, damn.
Sometimes I forget words, though.
Yeah, me too. All right, anyways, we got to go. We're filming too. All you challenge students, tune in. We're doing a live webinar in about 3 hours. But congrats to everybody on NITO, on CRNC, on KITT, on TGL. If you were early, again, TGL is now fading. So this is a great lesson that you got to try to be there on the upside, on the front side, then you don't overstay. And let me just show you a screenshot Jack just sent me, by the way, just to inspire you even more. So this is Jack. He's coming to meet us for the webinar in a little bit. But look at this, okay? He had one account where 66,000 in one account in profits and then 36,000 in the other. So 100K Friday, which is actually, I guess light for him, right, Juan? Like this is
That's average day for him
this
these
is
days.
100K a day, which is just crazy. And you just have to go to sleep at 8 p.m., wake up, no alarm, 2 to 3 a.m.
Jack always says when the market is hot, nothing else matters.
Juan is supposed to stay at Jack's house. And literally because Juan got in last night at like 10, 11 p.m., Jack was like, get a hotel. Do not interrupt my sleep. So Juan is staying at a hotel just to help you understand how much priority Jack gives with his sleep right now.
He's gonna pick up his friend. He just has to get a hotel, buddy.
He's like, sorry, lo siento. But it's true. It's a hot market. We got to go. See you in the webinar in a little bit. Challenge students.